What happened when a teacher broke the rules? It started with a scream during third period. Not a yelp, not a shriek. A full-on blood-curdling scream that made every single person in the hallway stop dead. It came from room 207, Mr. Halperin's room. Within seconds, people were spilling out of classrooms. Some stayed frozen, some moved toward the noise. I was one of them. By the time I got there, the scene looked frozen in time. A flipped desk, scattered papers, a broken pair of glasses, one lens under Mr. Halperin's polished leather shoe, and Maria, sitting on the floor, curled up tight, hugging her knees, sobbing so hard her entire body shook. Mr. Halperin stood a few feet away, 60-something years old, gray, comb-over. Always wore a blazer, even when it was hot. His mouth was tight. His eyes were ice. No regret, no concern. Just irritated, like she had interrupted him, like this was an inconvenience. The principal was there in under 2 minutes. She pulled him out into the hallway, and when she asked him to step away from Maria, he didn't move at first. Security had to come, and by the end of the day, the police were involved. Rumors spread like wildfire, but those of us who'd been watching it build, we weren't surprised. The real story started earlier that week. Maria wasn't loud. She was the kind of student teachers usually loved. Polite, straight A's, did her homework early, barely made a sound unless called on. That Monday, she quietly corrected Mr. Halperin during a lecture on the Cold War. He'd confused North Korea with China while talking about proxy wars. She raised her hand and said almost apologetically, "I think that was North Korea, not China." He stopped, looked at her like she'd insulted his ancestors. "You want to teach the class, Ms. Historian?" He snapped. Everyone laughed nervously. Maria just looked down and said sorry. That afternoon, she got detention. Insubordination. From that day forward, he had it out for her. Kept calling on her when she clearly didn't want to speak. Made comments about her last name. Mocked her pronunciation if she stumbled over words. Called her Ms. Kim Jong-un once and played it off as a joke. No one laughed. We reported it. Multiple students did. The school counselor said they'd look into it. The vice principal said they'd monitor the situation. Nothing changed. Then Thursday happened. We were in third period again. Maria was in the front row. She dropped her pencil and bent down to pick it up. That's all. Just picked up her pencil. Halperin slammed a wooden ruler down on her desk so hard it cracked. The sound echoed through the room. "Are you sleeping?" he shouted. "Do you think this is nap time in the rice fields?" It felt like the air got sucked out of the room. Maria froze. He walked over, kicked her backpack across the room, grabbed her by the arm and tried to yank her up. That's when she screamed. That scream ripped through the walls. It wasn't fear. It wasn't pain. It was everything. Anger, shock, years of holding it all in. We saw it. We heard it. And for the first time, the school had to listen. They pulled Halperin out of class that day. By the next morning, his name was gone from the staff list. Official story? Retired early due to health reasons. Maria never came back. Word was her family pulled her out and moved schools. Can't blame them. The school tried to move on like nothing happened, but no one forgot. The image of Maria on the floor, crying, the look on Halperin's face, like she was the problem, and that scream, it still echoes.